battle between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming down to the wire. Many asking, will Sergio Perez come out tops, being that he is Mexican and it will be in his hometown. A lot of pressure for both Mercedes and Red Bull, but by the end of the day, there will have to be a winner. Who will it be? We'll have to wait and see. We are looking at a weekend that a lot is happening from the Kenya Premier League front. The matches that started off earlier on in the day, Police at halftime were holding Gor Mahia to a 0-0 draw. Then we also have Nzoia Sugar, who are trailing Posta Rangers by a goal to nothing. Still in football, it is the point that we are starting off this afternoon's show, because we have guests in studio to just let us know how they managed to give Southern Sudan a hiding by 15 goals to 1. The first leg that Harambee Starlets took against Southern Sudan, they managed to beat them by 8 goals to nothing. Then in the return leg, which was away from, home away from home, because Southern Sudan opted to play their home game here in Nairobi, they managed to beat them by 7 goals to 1. Uganda awaits as the last hurdle for the ACON qualifiers for the Sekafa region, and the question is, will it be Kenya or Uganda making it to the ACON? The last time that Kenya's Harambee Starlets were there was in 2016. Can they make it this time round? Well, many are also hoping that they do so. But before we talk about that, just to let you know that our very own Vihiga Queens will be taking on Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa in a match that will be broadcast live on KBC Channel 1 at exactly 5 p.m. So book a date with us, because Vihiga Queens will be flying the country's flag, and we will not be left behind in terms of making you part of the action, because we are indeed your true sports partner. Let's shift gears to matters Harambee Stars and guests in studio with us this afternoon. I'll start with my immediate left. We have Lilian Mmboga. Lilian, a member of the Harambee Starlets team, plays for Kibera Girls Soccer Club, and also a midfielder who plays on the right for Harambee Starlets. Lilian, karibu sana.
Asante.
Then next to Lilian, ever jovial assistant coach Mildred Cheche with us to also let us know what's happening behind the scenes in terms of getting this team ready for the action that's coming up, that's against Uganda. Mildred, as the assistant coach, karibu sana as well.
Asante sana, Apidi.
Karibuni sana and feel at home.
Thank you.
Let's start with you, Mildred.
Okay.
South Sudan given a hiding, beating them by 15 goals to 1. What was the game plan?
The game plan was to win, and in every aspect, Starlets were prepared for it. We had prepared for a long time, even before the match day. So by the time we are getting to the match, we were jazzed up. We wanted to win the match, so we planned well. Planning is key for everything. Yeah.
Well, failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yes.
Mildred has just spoken about planning well, and winning was the whole idea. Yeah. Lilian, 15 goals to 1 clearly shows that the Harambee Starlets scoring magic still is there. In the Sekafa matches that were played in 2019, Harambee Starlets won, scoring 24 goals, conceding nothing, and ended up winning the tournament unbeaten. It looks like scoring is your cup of tea in Harambee Starlets?
Yeah, sure. We're capable of doing it. Yeah. I can say for us to do so, the training is so good. We train good, tuna train poa. So ikifika time ya game, tuko na kila aina ya kuscore goals, very good goals, Sasa time ya training ina depend ile kutrain, una train aje. The more una make it, yani una train na ile unataka, Kifika time ya game, easy for us.
Very
That's
easy.
why tuna score easy, tuna win easy.
Okay. As a midfielder, still with you, Lilian.
Yes.
You play in the midfield.
Sure.
Ukiinua kichwa hivi unamwona Dogo, unamwona Gentrix. How does that make you feel? Because those are ladies given an opportunity kidogo to, they punish you and bury the ball in the net. And I like what you said. You don't just score, you score good goals.
Yeah. Okay. Venye mi I feel good. Juu like tumetrainishwa nao venye tuna coordinate hapo katikati na mbele. So they know tunajua runs zao. So if wana make run, tunawekea ball, inakuwa so perfect, wanafunga goals poa sana. So mi feel poa, nikipeana pass inafungwa in a very good way. I feel nice.
I'll engage Lilian later on to just find out what happens in the dressing room, because when you have people like Alina Dogo, anything can happen in that dressing room in terms of excitement and, you know, charging up the team and stuff. But Mildred, let's look at the preparations for Harambee Starlets. You played against Southern Sudan. You beat them by 15 goals to 1.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Uganda is next. The only hurdle, if you go through, then you're back into the ACON. Let's talk about the preparations for Harambee Starlets. How has it been?
Going forward, because now South Sudan is the past, we are looking forward to Uganda, and one, there will be a Sekafa tournament. We don't know the host yet. It was supposed to be in Djibouti. That is also part of our preparation. We're also planning to play a few friendlies just to get the team ready. By the time we are getting to February, I believe the team will be ready to take on Uganda.
Well, as we look at Uganda, I mean, Lilian, it is a fact. A couple of years back, the rivalry between Kenya and Uganda, more so in football, is on another level. There are times Uganda say, anytime they want to beat Kenya, they just call. And, you know, Kenya goes there and Kenya is beaten. I mean, we've seen the same go even into athletics. We've seen the emergence, you know, of very good athletes. Joshua Cheptegei, for example, has really proved that Uganda is coming up in sports. What do you make of the Uganda, you know, match? Are you guys already getting into, you know, the rivalry, the East African derby, as they so call it? Is it disturbing you people?
Kwetu sisi, siwezi sema Uganda itatusumbua sana. We ready, we training hard. Training yenye tunafanya actually itatupea very good results. Like siwezi sema sahi wakikuja tunaweza sema kuna ile ugumu ama ni rahisi. Inalingana na ile hard work tutapeana, ile training tutapea ma coach. As far as wana to engage into many friendly games, tunaenda kucheza Sekafa this December. Tukifika hiyo February, we will be ready for everything, for your task.
You'll be ready.
Yeah.
Mildred,
yes,
we are seeing, you know, some of the highlights of Kenya and South Sudan. Very interesting goals, like, you know, Lilian put it, very easy goals, very beautiful. And of course, with Dogo there, anything can happen in terms of celebration. What do you make of the mood in the camp anytime these ladies are there? The sisterhood, the way they are, they move together. Does that give you an easy task in terms of managing them and the entire technical bench?
Yes, I believe we have an easy task to manage them, because most of them, they have played for the Starlets. And then we have a good squad. The competition is very high. And then we also encourage them every time we make fun. We sing a lot. I think you've seen videos.
Yes.
So just to get them ready. So by the time we are out of the dressing room, everyone is charged up, and then they charge themselves. Apart from us inspiring them, they actually charge themselves to go on the pitch and win.
So as we look at the preparations and how the mood is and the morale in the camp, still with you, Mildred, let's go back to the Kenya Women's Premier League.
Yep.
Very competitive. Vihiga Queens, Thika Queens, you have, I mean, Kibera Girls Soccer, a very vibrant league. Is that making your work easy in terms of identifying and bringing these girls together for them to play for the national team, Harambee Starlets?
Definitely. The Premier League plays a very vital role for us having such players, because the more they play, the easier it is for us, because we will have fit players, we will have players who are ready for the matches. They've been playing a lot of matches, so by the time we are putting them or engaging them for international matches, they are ready.
Let me come to you, Lilian. Yes. We've seen that South Sudan seemed to be an easy task in terms of making it through by winning 8 goals to nothing. You went into the second leg, you didn't stop, because they were just days apart. 7 goals, but you conceded 1 goal. What was it like when you conceded a goal despite scoring 7, but at least your backline was breached?
Pardon? Your
backline, as in you conceded a goal against South Sudan. How did it make you feel, conceding a goal?
Siwezi sema ilikuwa poa sana. Hatukuwa tunataka tufungiwe kabisa, tutoke na clean sheet. But then they get the chance, wakatufunga. siwezi sema okay, ni hali ya game. So scoring the goal ilikuwa bahati yao, lakini tulikuwa tunataka watoke bila goal kabisa. Yeah.
But they managed to get a goal.
Yeah.
Let me ask Lilian.
Yes.
Mbona ukaamua kucheza mpira wa miguu? Pengine si magongo, au sio uogeleaji, pengine sio mambo na masumbwi, ama pengine volleyball ambayo Malkia Strikers wamebobea. Kwa nini ukaamua kucheza mpira wa miguu?
Niliamua kucheza ball juu ball ni kitu iko kwa familia, a talent from our family. Si kitu tu nimeanza from nowhere, it's a talent from our family. Na ni kama niseme ni life yangu, it's a hobby, naipenda sana, napenda ball. Na najua itanipeleka mbali. Yeah.
Looking at some of the goals they are scored, beautiful goals, and of course getting a bicycle kick, you know, getting it out. Let's now look at the preparations towards the Uganda game. I can see Coach, he's so excited looking at some of the goals. And just a recap. Yeah. Coach, do you get an opportunity to look at these matches again, to look at where you went wrong, what you could have done better? If you conceded a goal, how did we concede? Do you get an opportunity to review some of these tapes?
Yes, most of the time after the match, we usually go back, we watch the tapes, and then we see there's always areas to improve. That one in football, it is there. Conceding that goal was also a wake-up call, like this happened here and it can happen again, so we need to address it in training. So most of the time we look at the clips and we sit down with the players, we show them what happened in match analysis, and then now we go back to the pitch and redo it.
You must have watched the South Sudan clip and come up with some analysis of what could have happened.
Yeah.
Despite winning by 15 goals to 1 on aggregate,
yeah,
do you think there are some areas that you need to improve on based on the clips that you watched?
Yes, we have areas to improve, especially on the defense side. I do not want to disclose everything because this interview is live. They might use this against us, but yes, we have areas to improve. That is what I can say, and then we are working towards that. But overall, we have a strong team, and I believe with all the international players in, we'll have a good squad at the end.
Having a good squad is key, because remember, Harambee Starlets have been critical. I am a firm believer that if Kenya is ever to make it to the World Cup, Football World Cup, it is easier through the ladies than through the men. And I still say that is my personal opinion. But I believe that it's easier through the ladies than through the men. Do you agree, Lilian?
I agree.
Mutakuwa wa kwanza kufika?
Tunafika. Lazima tufike.
Before the men?
Hiyo ni dream.
Would you want to be part of that team?
Yeah, sure.
So how do we get there? What do we need to do?
Hard work, commitment, ile unity kwa team, like tukue focused kabisa. We're going to make it, actually.
First things first, before we even look at that, Lilian, yes. Morocco next year, we cross against Uganda, then we are, you know, to the ACON.
Yeah.
And looking at the way Kenya played in the ACON in 2016, started off very well, and many after the ACON knew that there was a team called Kenya. Yeah. Do you think our first hurdle will be to maybe first win ACON, then send a signal to the entire world? Okay,
naweza sema niseme aje, like sai venye tumejiprepare, tuko na like competition iko high, inafaa sasa tu work ile hard kabisa to make it. Tukienda hiyo Morocco, tuseme ina happen February, coach?
Yeah, between 14 and 23rd.
Yeah, tukienda Morocco, we're going to work hard. Lazima we want to niseme aje, okay, we want it.
You want it?
Yeah, we want it.
Pengine niulize, na assume kocha yuko hapa. Sa zile things go bad in the team, mnacheza vibaya, how does she react? Or the entire technical bench? Wanatupa maneno?
Lazima uambiwe, usikie. Siposikia, lazima waongee juu wana believe wametufunza hii kitu, tunafaa kuifanya perfect. So tukianza kuifanya tena venye hawataki, like wanajiuliza nini tunafundisha wasichana. So like tukifunzwa inafaa tuitake in, tuifanye perfect, ndo like tukiifanya wana feel poa. Juu tukikosa kuifanya actually wana jam. hiyo nayo ni ukweli. Lazima tuambie ukweli ndo to make out tutoke tupate good results.
And again, I said, assume coach is not here.
Yes.
Coach, looking at the trainings that we are seeing there, clearly tells that the current Football Kenya Federation officials, for once, have really put a lot of emphasis and focus on the girls.
Yeah.
That's girls soccer.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? Because in the regimes or in the previous regimes, women's soccer was put in the periphery and not much attention and focus was on it. And at this point, I will call out Doris Petra, who's been so, in the forefront in terms of shouting about women's football, and results are coming. Do you believe that Kenya can make it to the World Cup through the ladies than through the men first?
I believe both teams can make it to the World Cup.
I knew you had to be diplomatic.
Both teams can make it to the World Cup. For the Starlets, I can only speak for the Starlets. And the quality we have right now, the structures we have, the professionalism that we have, will definitely take us to AUCON. And when we go to AUCON, we believe we can win one match and draw one, and then we are through to the World Cup. That is all we need. So for now, our biggest hurdle is Uganda, which we are ready to take them on, and we are preparing for that particular match. And from our bench, you can see the professionals that are there, from the trainings to the levels of coaching that we have. I believe we can take the ladies to the next level.
As we look at that, just to give you an update, is also that Mathare United currently trailing Bidco United by 1-0. It is the battle of the Uniteds, and as it is, Mathare trailing Bidco by 1-0. Still monitoring what's happening. Posta Rangers still leading Nzoia Sugar by 1-0. Gor Mahia being held to a 0-0 draw by Police as at now, but the match is still going on. Let's now look at you've mentioned stiff competition in the team.
Yeah.
What is it that you are doing to ensure that you maintain your position in the team now as Lilian, not as the rest of the team? Because the competition there definitely is on the higher side.
Okay, as for me, right now we're not at the camp, so I need to do extra. Nafaa kufanya extra kabisa. Ndo nikirudi next camp tukirudi, coach will prove that nilikuwa na work more extra. Yeah. Bila extra work, ukirudi camp yaka uko chini, naona uwezi make to that, kumake kwa squad.
You also mentioned that you come from a footballing family.
Yeah.
Do you get encouragement from the likes of Eugene Mukangula, your cousin, who plays in the Kenyan Premier League men's, action? Do you get encouragement from the rest of the family in terms of keep going, your star is rising?
Yeah, sure. I can give an example.
Please.
My cousin Eugene, yeye unipigia simu nikiwa camp, na nipigia na niambia leo sijakuona ukiwa poa sana, nini mbaya? Namwambia itakam. Yeye anapenda sana kunifuatilia na nipa ile encouragement, morale. Juu pia home pia wazazi wanani encourage juu it's a talent iko kwangu na pia inanisaidia. So wanani encourage kila day, hakuna siku ameniacha hivyo. Nikiwa chini na waelezea, my cousin nikiwa chini na muelezea, ananiambia, ananipea tips utafanya hivi na hivi ndo ukwe poa. So yeah, napata encouragement sana from them.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? A rising star?
Yeah, I want to be in the next 10 years now, from now. Nataka nicheze UPRO.
Where?
Spain.
Why not England, not Germany, not Italy?
Napenda tu Spain sana. Niseme aje, level yao ya ball naipenda, I like the country, so my dream ni kukua pale
Spain.
Yeah, sure.
Mildred, when you look at the composition of the entire team and seeing the competition in that team and seeing what Lilian is talking about, that they keep pushing each other to the limit, but in a positive way, does this give you an easy time, or it gives you a hard time as a technical bench to make the final cut and eventually the first 11 that takes to the pitch to represent the country?
For now, I can say most of the time it's giving us a hard time, because now when you have a squad of 30 players and anyone can play. Can you imagine? You can remove 11 and put other 11 and they can play and give results the same way. So sometimes it gives us a hard time, but now we have to test them and see, like the game we played against South Sudan, we put one squad in one game and then we changed almost the entire squad in the next game, and they actually performed almost the same, judging from the results, of course.
Interesting indeed. Interesting, but it's a good problem to have when you can have two sets of 11 and still deliver results at any level.
Yes.
Vihiga Queens are playing this afternoon, a match that will be airing live. What do you make of it?
For women football, generally, you cannot underrate any team until you're on the pitch, because you can do your research, watch their clips, but now when you get on the pitch, that's when you get to see, can I beat this opponent? The first few minutes will tell you, can I be able to handle this game? Can I push them to the limit? Can I corner them and get a goal? The first few 10-15 minutes. So I believe Vihiga Queens, they have a good squad. Their squad is very capable of delivering good results. When we talk of how they played against Ethiopia, the inter-clubs, they did very well, and I believe going to the match today, they are going to do even better, because they have good strikers, they have good structures at the midfield, and also good defense at the back. So yeah, I am positive about today's match.
I mean, you must be having some players, including Gentrix, in that team from Harambee Starlets. You have confidence they can deliver against Mamelodi Sundowns? Yes,
I have confidence. With the likes of Gentrix, Terry and Gesha, we have the likes of Violet Nanjala. You have a squad that has almost 9 players in the national team. So this is like almost our national team playing against Mamelodi Sundowns. So yes, we are looking forward to see how they can deliver.
Well, I mean, it's good that, you know, the team is out there getting results. Will be the order of the day within the 90 minutes. The match is coming to you live on KBC Channel 1 at exactly 5 p.m. And many will look at it that Vihiga Queens are underdogs in this. But it's always good to face such tournaments as an underdog, because by the time many realize what you are made of, it's too late for them because the damage is already done. So for Vihiga Queens, wishing you all the best as you kick off your matches this afternoon. It will be live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. Lilian, we now know that Harambee Starlets is the order of the day. I mean, you are now looked at as a big name in your club. That's Kibera Girls Soccer. How are you using the same to help raise standards in Kibra, being that you are in the national team?
Okay, mimi kwa national team, like nimetoka kwa team yenye, okay, sahi atuko Premier League, tulishuka, so mimi kwa Kibera, nikitoka national team, nikirudi Kibera, I want them to work hard. Nataka tukue standard moja, like nikiona niko juu, I help one another, tukue the same level, juu siwezi sema mimi niko mpoa sana, but then nataka tukue same thing, ndo at least venye tuko hivyo down, tunaweza panda na season moja. So kwa team ni ile tu kuencourageana, work hard. Yeah.
As you do that to encourage each other and work hard, let's look at the ELCON qualifiers now, and let's you know, look back, have a rear view of what transpired in 2018. We all know that Equatorial Guinea, Kenya appealed against Equatorial Guinea. Kenya made it through. Kenya was even in the fixtures for the Nations Cup. But unfortunately, Equatorial Guinea appealed and eventually got the nod to play in ELCON at the expense of Harambee Starlets. Does that give you, ladies, the fire to go in and, you know, just win beyond any reasonable doubt and ensure that the right thing is done for you? Does that give you the push to go an extra mile so that you make it? Because the ambition was to make it back-to-back in the ELCON, 2016-2018. Unfortunately, it was never to happen. Yeah. Is it giving you the fire to bounce back and ensure that you are regulars in the ELCON, Coach Mildred?
Yes, right now, the fire we have, I cannot even start to explain to you, because the path going to ELCON, it has been made easier. Like you see, we are playing 2 matches, home and away. That is like 4 matches, and then going straight to Alcon when you win them. So the fire we have right now, it is too big, it is burning, and you've seen it in South Sudan's match. We have burnt even the team, not in practically, but but the fire we have, you can see from how we play. And you've seen us against South Sudan, and then against Uganda, that's when you're going to see us again. So I believe we have what it takes, and we see the path, we see Alcon. When we sleep, we sing Alcon and World Cup. So yes, we are just up, and we are ready to take the ball.
Are you using the opportunity between now and your match against Uganda to try get some clips of how Uganda play, their style of play, the key players to watch out for, or their game pattern, everything? Are you trying to get behind the scene insights on Uganda?
Yes, most definitely, because as a coach, you have to do your research. That is number one. And then also you have to watch how they play. They might change. They even took the clip down on YouTube after playing against Ethiopia. But luckily, when they played the second leg, we watched out. They have a few key players on the wings. They are very fast. But now we are planning for them. And they're also seeing us play. So it's going to be an interesting match to watch.
But looking at you and Lilian, coach mentioned earlier on that out of 30 you can have 2 sets of Harambee Starlets and still deliver, and get the desired results. So watching Harambee Starlets one match could be deceiving. If you look at that one particular match and say this is how they play, you can have a complete different team. Does that give you, the psyche for the entire 30 players who maybe are in camp that anyone can make it? If you're not in the first 11, we can still use you tomorrow. Yeah. If you are among the dropped players, how would you feel?
Wow. Nikiwa among the dropped kutoka camp, yani si make trip.
Yes.
Hey, very bad. Yeah, nitafeel vibaya sana. But then sitamani kuwa hapo pa kudropiwa, because I'm working towards my weakness. Juu kuna kuna mali niko na potential, kuna mali niko na weakness. So as for me to make kwa hiyo squad ya 30 players, like I said before, I need to work hard, I need to do extra work ndo ni make into 30 players juu henyewe hapo siwezi tamani kudropiwa. I must make it to kwa 30. Yeah.
Coach, how do you manage such situations? Do you have to sit down players and talk about the psychological, bit of it? Because some really feel that they have what it takes, they are the best, but by the end of the day, they are dropped. How do you manage such scenarios? I know I've been there before, where I have to convey such bad news to 1 or 2 players, but how do you manage it presently?
Mostly is to make sense of what you're saying. Let's say, you have areas to improve. This is your strength, this is your weakness, this is what we want, this is what you're giving us, and then now this is what we need you to work on. And then when you improve, you can always come back to the team, because everyone is there on merit. So when you work hard, and we see it in the leagues, we usually go for the matches, the Premier League matches. We go there, we see how they play. If you're good, you will be on the team. If you go down or you don't improve, then you're out of the team until you improve. So most of the time is always merit, and it's always how good can you deliver, because most of the time you get a player is good, but now they come to the national team platform, most of them they get scared or something. They just get, so we usually have a one-on-one talk with most of them. We sit them down even before talking about their weaknesses, just to know how are you doing, how is the camp taking you, how are you faring playing with different players that are not your teammates. So from there you get to know, because sometimes you might drop a player and not knowing that it's not because they cannot deliver, but because they have other psychological issues. Yeah.
Well, just a quick update from the Kenyan Premier League. Boniface Omondi scores for Gor Mahia. Gor Mahia leading Kenya Police by 1-0. But guess what? Former Gor Mahia player Clifton Miheso, who plays for Kenya Police, responds and equalizes for Kenya Police. So it is Kenya Police 1, Gor Mahia 1. Then Posta Rangers getting their second goal against Nzoia Sugar. So it is Nzoia 0. 0, Posta 2, Gor Mahia 1, and Kenya Police 1 as at now. It's about 70 minutes gone, 20 more minutes to go. Ladies, we need to start winding up this because my director tells me I need to, look at your other assignments as well.
Yes.
What would you promise Kenyans, Lilian, as as your parting shot? Uganda up next, then after that it is Akon. Twaenda hatuendi?
Tunaenda, lazima. Okay, for me, naweza wa promise, lazima tunaenda World Cup, tuna make it. Uganda, wakikuja, we ready. Win lazima, hawezi toka huku na point. Home and away, we must win. Hiyo ni lazima, so we ready guys. Yeah. Na wa promise, tunaenda World Cup.
Tunaenda?
Kabisa.
Tutafika?
Tutafika.
Inshallah, Mungu akipenda. Mildred, your parting shot, Kenyans are watching. What would that message be as we wind up?
For me, I would say let them give us a vote of confidence because we have been working hard. The team that we have is training very well. They are excited about the match. They are working for it. Even on and off camp, they are still working for it. So they should give us the confidence that we can deliver. And then also support the ladies wherever they are. Like their pages, like our pages, come to our matches, especially come to our matches, the Premier League matches. Right now we are allowed to have fans, so come watch the Starlets play and see your favorite players scoring goals. Give them the support they need. Otherwise, yes, we promise to take them to the AFCON qualifiers.
AFCON qualifiers, we will be there, and I can't let Lilian go without asking her this question. Lilian,
yes.
A message to Vihiga Queens.
Okay, Vihiga Queens tunawapenda sana. Mkiwa huko Egypt, tunataka win. Game ya leo must win. Tunajua you can make it. Yeah.
Vihiga Queens, you can make it. It is there for the taking. As the coach has also said, Akon, that's African Women's Cup of Nations. We are getting ready and we will be there. We thank you very much, Coach Mildred, and of course Lilian, Mmboga, for making time to be with us this afternoon. Wishing you all the best in your endeavors, and also we'll be monitoring and updating Kenyans on how you prepare to take on, they call it the men is from Uganda, but the ladies is Nyebo from Uganda. Wishing you all the best, and we'll be monitoring all your preparations and updating Kenyans, but of course keeping our secrets back at home so that neighbors don't get to know.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That has been a discussion with the Harambee Starlets. Remember, they beat South Sudan by 15 goals to 1, and now facing Uganda in the next hurdle to get to know who the CECAFA representatives in the African Women's Cup of Nations will be coming up in Morocco in 2022. Then the last time that they were there was in 2016. 2018, they missed it by a whisker despite having been in the fixtures. Thank you very much. We wish you all the best. Up next, we look at a recap of how events unfolded in the past week. A lot that came to pass. We had Safari Sevens where Shujaa, Shujaa came up very powerfully against Germany in the final. Then, of course, we had the Stanchart Marathon. In the Kenyan Premier League, a lot has been happening. Across the borders, PSG held to a 2-2 draw in the European Cup. Then, of course, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, all going back to default settings and getting very good wins. The Commonwealth Games baton, Queen's baton, was in the country. How did that come out? Let's enjoy that. But after this short commercial break, we'll get you the score to get a recap of all that. Up next, short commercial break.